Hello everybody, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to LP's Biology for another video tutorial regarding structure of DNA. In 1869, mixture first isolated a class of chemical called as nuclein. Mixture mixture first isolated nuclein from the pus cells. The nuclein are a variety of chemicals. Later, these chemicals are named as nucleic acid by Altman. In 1899, Altman described the nuclein as nucleic acids. These are synthesized inside the nucleus of the cell. Okay. The nucleic acids are either DNA or RNA. It is found in all viruses, found in all living organisms, and help in carrying out genetic informations from generation to generation. These are associated with carrying genetic information from generation to generation. Nucleic acids are formed of polymers of nucleotides. These are the polymers of nucleotides. These are the polymers, nucleic acids. The nucleotides are formed of bases, sugar, and phosphoric acid. The nucleotides formed of three varieties of compounds. These are bases, then sugar, then phosphoric acid. These are the three compounds forming the nucleotides. Then first of all come to the chemical composition of these nucleotides. Then we will discuss about the detailed structure of DNA. What are the nucleotides? Detailed analysis. Nucleotides. The nucleotides are macromolecules. These are formed of many monomers called as the nucleotides are present in DNA as polymers. What are polymers? The strands of DNA consist of polynucleotides. That means many nucleotide monomers united forming a strand. Okay. The chemical analysis of nucleotides shows that these are formed of base, sugar, and phosphoric acid or phosphate. These nucleotides are either ribotides or ribonucleotides which are present in RNA or deoxyribonucleotides which are present in DNA. The composition is similar with a slight deviation in the structure of sugar. Then come to these components. First of all, we have to discuss about the sugar. The sugar is pentose in nature. The sugar is pentose. It is pentose sugar. The sugar on DNA is deoxyribose type, while in RNA it is ribose type. The 5 carbons arranged in out of the 5 carbon, the 4 carbon atoms, position 1, 2, 3 and 4 combine with oxygen forming a ring. It is like that. This is the 4 carbon atom, the first carbon, second, third, 4 combine with oxygen forming the ring. The fifth carbon combine with CH2 combine with CH2 which is present outside the ring. This is the CH2 outside the ring. All these are first, second, third, fourth carbon. The fifth one is outside the ring. Okay. The OH groups attached to 1, 3 and 5. First carbon OH, OH and OH 5. The hydrogen attached to 1, 2, 3 and 4. First, second, third, fourth. Okay. At the position 2, instead of hydrogen OH group, there is hydrogen. So it is called as. In case of ribose, at this position, second position, instead of hydrogen, OH group is present. Okay, this is the difference between the sugar. Then come to the bases. These bases are nitrogenous bases. These are divided into two different groups, that is purine group, purine, and second one is pyrimidine bases. What are the differences? In purine base, there are two rings. It consists of double rings. Rings means there is a hexagon, that means 6-membered carbon ring attached to a 5-membered ring. It is called as imidazole ring. The position of nitrogen is at first, third, 7, 9. First, this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9. Nitrogen is present at first, third, 7 and 9. This is the position of nitrogen in the purine bases. The purine consists of adenine, guanine. Then come to pyrimidine bases. The pyrimidine consists of only a single membered hexagon, that means a 6-membered carbon ring is found in purine. The nitrogen is found at first and third, nitrogen is found at first and third. Okay. The pyrimidine consists of thymine, cytosine, uracil. Uracil is not found in DNA, it is found in RNA. According to base pairing rule, one purine pairs with another pyrimidine. That means adenine pairs with thymine, guanine pairs with cytosine. Adenine and thymine pairs by double bond, guanine and cytosine pairs by triple bond. 3 hydrogen bonds are there. Okay. After bases, next come to the phosphoric acid or phosphate. Okay. The phosphoric acid or phosphate are represented by H3. The phosphate is represented by this phosphate OH. Okay. The phosphate attached to 3' position of sugar of one nucleotide and to 5' sugar of other nucleotide. Okay. It determine the 3' and 5' position in the DNA. Okay. The position of phosphate the position of phosphate is variable in two different nucleotides. Okay. It connect two nucleotide on both ends. Then come to the formation of nucleoside. First, nucleoside, it is formed by a combination of base with sugar, base plus sugar. Then the nucleotide, it is formed by nucleotide, it is formed by nucleoside with phosphate, nucleoside with phosphate. Okay. Then nucleotides again combine to produce polynucleotides, combine to form polynucleotides. Nucleotides combine to produce polynucleotide. The nucleotides join with each other by phosphodiester linkage. This is one nucleotide, that means sugar, base, phosphoric acid. Okay, the phosphate is attached to the fifth carbon, that means it is 5' phosphate. This is another nucleotide, the base attached to first the first sugar, then the phosphate attached to fifth carbon. When a linkage is established between the two nucleotide, where the linkage is established? Here the 3' end of the sugar, the 3 position of the sugar attached to the phosphate. H and OH eliminate 1 mole of water. The linkage is established here. This linkage is called as phosphodiester bond. Phosphodiester bond. So it became a dinucleotide. When 3 nucleotides combine, it forms trinucleotide. In this way it produces polynucleotide. Okay. After formation, then come to equivalence rule of Chargaff's. In 1950, Chargaff discovered that the amount of purine and pyrimidines in DNA is equivalent. That means adenine, equal number of adenine pairs with thymine, equal number of guanine and cytosine also pairs. That means if we take the ratio of adenine and thymine and guanine cytosine, it is equal to 1 unit. This is called as the Chargaff's rule. Chargaff's rule. The DNA molecule of each species obey this concept, Chargaff's concept. Then come to the 3-dimensional model of DNA or crystallographic structure of DNA. The crystallographic concept was first given in 1940 by Astbury. Astbury in 1940 described the crystallographic model. Later, on the basis of this Astbury concept, Wilkins, Rosalind Franklin, Franklin described the detailed structure of 3-dimensional model of DNA. Okay. The 3-dimensional concept described that the phosphate and sugar form the backbone. The bases are variable. How it is arranged? Look, the bases, these are the bases. Find the bases. Suppose adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. Bases combines with sugar. The sugar combines with phosphate. The sugar phosphate backbone remains same. Suppose here another phosphate, again sugar. Suppose this is the base, this is thymine adenine, again sugar, it is attached to phosphate. The sugar phosphate backbone is constant, the bases are variable. It can be extended in either of the direction. It shows the crystallographic model of DNA structure. Then let's to analyze the double helical structure proposed by Watson and Crick. Okay, according to the model suggested by Watson and Crick, the double helical DNA consists of two strands. These two strands run in anti-parallel to each other. That means 3' OH, the 5' phosphate, and in other strand it is 5' phosphate and 3' OH. These are the opposite to each other. These are helically coiled around axis. This is the axis, helically coiled around axis. Okay, so these two polynucleotide chains are helically twisted around the same axis. The two chains are anti-parallel to each other. The double-stranded DNA molecule has a diameter of 20 angstrom. How diameter can be calculated? Let's see. Suppose this is a base pairing adenine thymine, another base pairing guanine cytosine. The bases combines with sugar, the bases combine with sugar, again phosphate, this is combined with sugar, again phosphate, again sugar, phosphate. The width of this is one nucleotide, base sugar phosphate, base sugar phosphate, base sugar phosphate, base sugar phosphate. This is one nucleotide. The width of one nucleotide is about 10 angstrom. Here another nucleotide, 10 angstrom. So the total diameter of DNA, how is it? It is about 20 angstrom. It is about 20 angstrom. Purine and pyrimidine bases are present alternatively. Suppose adenine, here thymine, guanine with cytosine, adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. In this way, the adenine pairs with thymine by double bond, guanine pairs with cytosine by triple bond. Look, there is a variation when these hydrogen bonds are formed. That means the bases are arranged in the helix. The bases are not parallel to each other. There is a angle between the bases. Suppose it is helically twisted. That means when the bases are arranged adjacent bases, there must be angle between the base pairing. Suppose this is in this way. These are the two polynucleotide strands. Suppose this is a base pair, this base pair, this is another base pair, suppose thymine adenine. This base pair and this base pair are not parallel to each other. There is a angle between them. How much it is? The angle that is slightly twisted. The angle is 36 degree. Okay, 36 degree. Hence, in Watson-Crick model, for one complete turn means how many? The angle is 360 degree. So, how many base pairs are there in 360 degree? That is 360 by 36. That means 10 base pairs are there. Okay. So, in a complete turn, there are 10 base pairs with this 36 degree angle. Okay. The distance between two adjacent base pair is about 3.4 angstrom. In one complete turn, how many base pairs are there? 10 base pair. So, what is the length of a turn? The turn length is equal to 3.4 into 10, that is 34 angstrom. Okay. Then let's know the supercoiling structure of DNA. In Watson-Crick model, we have studied the coiled structure of DNA. That means the two strands of DNA coiled around each other and also coiled around axis. Then what is supercoiling? Let's see. This form of DNA, whether it is linear form of DNA or it is circular form of DNA, is called as relaxed. It is a relaxed form of DNA. Then what is supercoiling? When the two strands of DNA again coil, that means the two strands again cross with each other, it becomes supercoil. How? This supercoiling is formed when the complete DNA cross over each other. How is it possible? Suppose let's say this is a DNA. The red is one strand, the white is one strand. It is a double helical, one coiled around other. When this red is one strand, white is one strand. When these two strands again coiled around each other, that means look at the two strands again crossed, this structure became it is now became the supercoiled structure. Okay, the supercoiled means the DNA strands, both the strands, not a single strand. In normal relaxed form, in this relaxed form, one strand is crossing to other. In supercoiling form, there is a combination of four strands. That means two strands cross other two strands at a specific place. The supercoiling is for where we have described in DNA replication. When the strand started opening, supercoiling is formed anteriorly. Okay. In supercoiling, we have to describe about linking number. What is linking number? Let's see. Linking number deals with the number of cords required to separate one strand from other completely. Let's say this is the relaxed form. Suppose this is one circular DNA. This is the relaxed form of DNA. In DNA, we have studied two strands coiled around each other. The number of cords required to separate one strand completely from other. Suppose we have to cut here, 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 cut here, cut here, cut here. So after cutting in these places, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So linking number is 9. When we can cut 9 times in the relaxed form of double helix, we can separate one strand from other. It is called as linking number. The linking number is equal to twisting number. That means the two strands twisted with each other by hydrogen bonding. The linking number always equal to twisting number. Then what is Ride? Linking number is equal to twisting number. Okay. Then come to Ride. What is Ride? In supercoiling form, what is Ride then? Ride appear in supercoiling. How? Suppose I am drawing, it is one relaxed form of circular DNA. Here Ride absent. When this DNA coiled around each other, that means the two strands of DNA crosses over other two strands. See here, suppose, let's see, in supercoiling format, here the two strands of DNA cross at a place and another place. Then how many Ride are there? This is one, this is second Ride, two Ride are there. The Ride is equal to how many times the two strand crosses over another two strands. Then the linking number is equal to twisting number plus number of rete. Okay. Then come to positive and negative coils. Okay. The positive and negative supercoil depends upon the direction of rete. How? Positive rete and negative rete. In positive rete, when the DNA is right-handed in nature and the rete is right-handed, it is positive. That means the direction is similar, the coiling of DNA and twisting of rete. Okay. When the DNA is right-handed, the rete is left-handed. That means the direction is opposite. It is called as negative rete. Okay. This is all about the DNA coiling and supercoiling. In the next video, we will discuss about the other characteristics of DNA, types of DNA, the circular and linear form of DNA. Okay. Thank you for watching this video and share it among your friends. Thank you all.